One, two, three.
No, that's a clap if I've ever heard one. That's a clap of Solid Snake's ass cheeks. I couldn't come up with anything. I'm sorry. I tried.
I like the direction you were taking it, though.
Yeah,
So.
there's got to be some like connective tissue there.
Sure. I mean, listen, you start thinking of Solid Snake's ass cheeks and you get all flustered. You can't really compose rational thoughts. It happens to us all.
It's very true. This entire episode is going to be very like disjointed.
Very horny for Snake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're all going to be thinking about that round behind that he had in Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh yes.
Ultimate Brawl, whichever
They
one.
nerfed it for Ultimate.
Was it
Yeah,
Ultimate
that's
that they nerfed it in? Probably. I don't know. I'm the worst at Smash Brothers.
It gets flatter with every game.
It's flatter with every game. I mean, he's an old man by the time Metal Gear Solid 4 rolls around.
Got him padded up. Those nano machines.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's Nano Machine, son.
Yeah, this is every MGS in MGS, right?
God, that would be like a very
somehow
in-depth...
longer than the fucking episodes. We're like, okay, today we're talking about this cutscene that in-game time is like 45 minutes, and it's going to take us 17
Before we
hours.
start this game, let's give you a whole history of the Cold War.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, for today's episode, we're actually going to go through Hideo Kojima's Letterboxd, and we're going to start from the bottom and watch every fucking movie and dissect them all so that we can understand what his brain is doing. Oh, good news. It's all just Mad Max Fury Road over and over again. Fuck yes.
Which leads me to the point that this is the Every FNFF podcast. My name is Curtis.
I'm Carl.
I'm Alex.
That's what they say.
And we're back.
What we've been told.
We're back from being
Season
off,
8.
Yeah.
This time we're doing Final Fantasy VIII.
I was thinking about I figured it was like a private thing between the three of us, so I didn't post it. But I really wanted to take a snip of our conversation with each other where I think last week, 2 weeks ago, there was something like, hey, are you available on Sunday? And one of us was like, no, I can't do Sunday, but I can do Monday. And then the next one of us is like, oh, I can't do Monday, but we could do Tuesday. And then I'm like, oh, I got band practice on Tuesday. Can we do Thursday?
Yeah.
There's just like a series of exactly that goes on for several days. And I was like, this is what podcasting is like in your 30s.
I would happily pay you on Tuesday for a podcast I record today. Yeah.
I'll record
tough.
all my parts of the podcast today. You record all your responses to those tomorrow. And
We're going to do fucking snail mail.
Well, let's chat GDP to make a podcast for us to record.
It's like the Postal Service, only instead of the way they recorded albums, we're doing a podcast.
That's right.
Gives me plenty of time to think of funny bits, of which I'm full of because it's been so long since we last recorded. So you know it's going to be funny.
Yeah. Alex, go ahead and drop in a funny bit that I came up with right here. Another night, another dream, but always you. Another night, another cream, I honk honk shoe.
So true.
Classic. Fucking
Man,
classic.
I don't know where I get it.
So yeah.
Still got it.
Yes, so when
we're on the Celsius.
We had to get back to the Celsius on the double because brother did tell us that we are in super doo-doo. So we're back.
They don't even let you have super doo-doo anymore because of woke.
So we've vanquished Bahamut again. I think is the last thing we did, right?
Yes. I also had to go back and vanquish Bahamut again because I didn't get those like cool items that we were talking about, like with that puzzle that just wasn't explained anywhere in the guide. And this time Bahamut, I like was getting into like setup phase and I destroyed him because I didn't have Pain accidentally healing him every attack.
Right, that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
So I was like, oh, that was way more emotionally affecting the first time when I didn't just immediately fucking steamroll him.
Yeah. Oh god, no, it's Bahamut, and then immediately just wipe the floor with him. Like, get out of here. But yeah, we got to get back to the Celsius. We're in super doo-doo.
Or so we're told.
So we're told, and the all the alarms are going off on the Celsius, right?
What would you describe this color as? It looks like a almost like a I'm trying to remember the flavor of ice cream. It's like a sherbet, I guess, but it's like it melted. It's like the purple
a deep salmon.
Yeah, like the deepest a salmon can be. Yeah.
the deepest salmon.
Are you talking about
we got a beige alert.
That's right. What?
Code Mauve, everyone.
Yeah.
It's the shade of pink that like frat bros in like the early 2010s were wearing and being like, pink is for fellas now, but they were still extremely misogynistic and shit.
The as far as I can tell, the deepest salmon is the Chinook salmon, which can go as low as 200 feet down.
Wow.
So
I'm always learning some new shit. But yeah, Buddy's letting us know that there's trouble, and he means big time.
Right here in River City.
But yeah, fiends are just pouring out of the temples, which sounds bad if that's not a normal thing that happens.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to do that.
It's not supposed to do that. We don't know much about the temples, but
now if you look at this temple right here, and you can see fiends just screaming out of it.
Lousy with fiends, dude.
Not supposed to be like that.
Riku asks which ones, like which temples is it happening, and then from my screenshot, it looks like Brother's doing like a flamenco dance sort of thing. He's doing the pot friend emote with the hand on his hip and the other hand raised above, and he says,
"Only all of them. It's a freaking state of the emergency. What should we do?"
Really good voice acting here. I do love it.
Yeah.
Freaking door.
Oh, he says, "Is it going time?" And he does like the very like way too quick animation of him flapping his wings like Go Birds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Buddy's like, well, it's not exactly like Sphere Hunter work. I'm not sure. And then who is it that comes up with the idea? Is it
So Shinra's like, "Oh, this isn't us gonna get a sphere, so why do we care?" And then Buddy's like, "Yeah, it actually might help people if they see Yuna out there." But then they kind of start talking about how like it shouldn't always
She's not
just
mayor
be
anymore. She does.
Yeah, she should be
Everyone
retired.
go home. It's fine.
Yeah, Pain's sticking up for Yuna, being like they'll expect her to do the dirty work, and but Riku's like, "Yeah, but I'm sure Yuna wants to help." Like, I got an idea. Yeah. Riku says, "We can be your friendly neighborhood gull wings."
Like a Spider-Man reference?
I think it is like explicitly a
so.
Spider-Man reference, right?
I guess so. And Buddy is like, "You mean shaking out fiends and charging for it?"
Right.
We become pest control.
Right. We're going to do true disaster capitalism here.
Be like the Owaka.
Yeah, what would Owaka do? He would make a shit ton of money saving people. Or threatening to leave them be if they don't pay. So
they should have voted.
I'm looking up the timeline here. This does make sense. It does make sense that there's a Spider-Man reference because listeners, if you're a little younger than we are, there was once a time when Marvel movies were quite rare and usually very shitty. Usually they had Ben Affleck as a cool character doing a decent job.
Yo, that trailer had Let the Bodies Hit the Floor in it. It's fucking
Oh, really? I'm thinking of Evanescence, Bring Me to Life, which is, I
was talking about the Daredevil trailer.
Yeah, me too. It might have been Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, but Bring Me to Life was definitely in it, and that's kind of what, at least to me, that's what kickstarted like me knowing about them and being into them. But I digress. That was in 2002, so Spider-Man fever had hit the world at that time, so I think it does make sense that they would just be like, yeah, let's just shoehorn. Last game, we shoehorned in a Macarena reference that'll always age well. This time, we're going to do a Spider-Man one.
That's right.
But the alarm goes off again. Or a different alarm, maybe.
Right. So they make that plan to become the friendly neighborhood Gullwings, and then an alarm goes off. Buddy says, like, oh, there's another issue. Carl is holding up a picture of Riku.
She's cheesing.
Doing a real good Riku face.
A real good Riku face. But he says that the Praetor Barreleye and Maven Nuge have both gone missing. And I love Brother's response to that. He just very dryly looks at him and goes, fascinating. Anyway. Does not give a shit. It's incredible.
That's
really
great.
Good.
But yeah, so they give us an option to say where to, and we can go pick which location we want to go to first in Chapter 3. And of course, the correct answer of the first location to go to in Chapter 3 is the cabin and then take a rest.
Yeah, of
You
course.
don't want to
yeah.
forget to take a rest in every chapter.
Yeah, of course.
You don't want to
yeah.
forget to take a rest in every chapter.
It's weird too because I don't think any of that dialogue is different, right? Like Barkeep says the exact same thing each time.
No. There's no indication that you should be doing this.
No, not at all. It's just like a fun way to get fucked out of 100%.
Exactly. Actually, I'm kind of worried right now because I'm 0.1% further along than I should be, according to the Steam guide. So I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's good because I am like 0.1% behind. Actually, no, that's not even fucking
Or if
true.
it's the Awaka percent.
I did finish paying off Awaka.
That might be it.
That could be it. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I am behind and somehow even further behind than I was last episode.
Oh, God.
Because I think at the end of like last episode, it was like you're supposed to be at like I forget what percentage it was, but I was at that percent when I got back to the Celsius and watched this cutscene, and then I had to go back and redo a bunch of the puzzles to get those things and fight Bahamut again. And then I came back and I was 1% less than I was like after the last time. I'm like, I did more and now I have less percent. So I am fully unbothered about the 100% shit. I am relaxed of it, and it's gonna be fine.
You've become me with the last couple chapters of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I am also getting to that point in Rebirth because it's really fun. I like all the side quests and shit, but I'm like, yeah, if I ever want to beat this game, I need to do it soon. It's like shit or get off the pot territory now, and I have just been sitting there forever, and I'm like, I just need to get to the end of the game.
I will tell you, this is not non-spoiler or nothing like that. If you beat the game, it's very easy to come back and do the stuff you missed. So
yeah, nice, cool.
If you wanted to just smash through it and then come back and do it later, that is totally built into it. You can do that.
Sick.
But anyway, I chose to go to Jose Temple first.
Yes.
As the guide told me.
We made that choice specifically. No one told us to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's right.
It says, mission says, no missions. Looks like they've got fiend problems too, but the machine faction doesn't want our help. What's their problem anyways? And so we go find out what's their problem.
You know, what is their problem? So we get down there and Gipple's already there, right? Good old Gipple.
He's being real handsy. Well, kind of like a big brother in a way, I guess. Because he's like, hey, it's Sizzle Girl. And he kind of gives her a push on by her forehead or something.
Yeah, we get a little bit more about their relationship a little bit later. But yeah. But yeah, he sees her. They're kind of like clowning around. He's like picking on her a little bit or whatever. And even Yoon is like, you seem close. And he goes, yeah, we made quite a couple. And then Riku says in Albed, I think, what are you saying? And yeah, he's just like having a good time. So I don't even know if that's like serious or not. I guess it's serious, but I can't tell.
She there is some dialogue later when we get back to the Celsius where she like super denies it. Right. She's like, that is not true at all. There was nothing going on. And then when you talk to Pain, she's like, Riku is being like really suspicious. I think something had to have been going on the way she's acting.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so the party goes down there. They offer to like take care of the fiends coming out of Jose Temple, and Gipple's like, no, we don't need your help. Like we got this taken care of. And the party's like, are you sure?
Nope. You already took care of Sin. We can't go running to you every time we get into trouble. I watch my own back.
Show off.
So don't worry about it. Get on out of here, right? And they have like a fairly amicable kind of like farewell between the two, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not much.
Yeah.
You get a primer.
There's I feel like there's a little bit of tension where like he's like, yeah, well, take care of yourself, and turns around, and she very quietly is just like, you too.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. And you're right. As soon as you get back, Riku does say like, hey, there is nothing going on.
Or is it like suspicious? Is like, oh yeah, we don't need your help. Please leave, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it
right.
kind of
Is there
sounds
something
like
they're hiding? They just don't want her nosing around it, maybe.
It seems like he's like trying to make it sound like he's doing it for a good reason, but really it's like a little suspect.
Hard to say.
Right.
But
there are some guys floating around here, right? What was saying?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I didn't get.
I'm trying to remember what some of these characters were saying, like around, like there's Albed saying, in Albed, I think it says, we may complain about Gipple a lot, but when he's around, we are strong. We count on him. Damned if we ever tell him that, though. And the digging guy is still in the reception desk inside. I think there's that other guy who's like still talking in that kind of Chicago gangster vibe. Right?
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
I'm not budging until you give me permission to dig, see? It's awfully quiet out there. Did something happen?
I think they're like heavily pointing you to not go for a dig, but they're like, but if you really want to, you can. But they're like, now's not the time to do that. Like, you should go do other stuff.
It's a state of emergency.
It's a freaking state of the emergency.
Freaking state of the emergency.
Hey, Lois, it's a freaking state of emergency. Yeah, but now we're going up to Luca, right?
Yes. So we get to do the best part of the whole game. And
Lady Luke.
There are so many people who are going to be mad at me for that one, but
Mission
great.
Sphere Break Tournament.
Oh, yes.
The new game, Sphere Break, is all the rage in Luca.
Sphere Break, baby. I love it.
They're giving out a dressphere to whoever wins the tournament.
Yeah, you're not a dressphere. How nice. That will certainly look good on us and no one else.
Of course.
So yeah, Sphere Break. Well, I guess we'll get into the gameplay of it in a moment once we actually...
We're going to read verbatim every line of the tutorial of it. It's very, very engaging. It's very informative. It's very fun to go through.
Yeah,
I love explaining board games to people.
Man, it's rough.
But once we land, the party's like, well, there's not really fiends here. There's no temple, so maybe there's no guild to be made here. And Buddy's like, well, that's because everybody's going nuts over Sphere Break. And, the party's like, oh, what's Sphere Break? And Shinra is clearly super into Sphere Break. He's like, you fools. Sphere Break is an incredible game. That's why we're here. We got to go play Sphere Break. Yeah. You should enter. There's going to be the grand prize is a dressphere, right? And Riku says she's been practicing, so she's like ready to go play.
Yeah.
And after we go down into the plaza, we see Shalinda, and she's like on camera, right?
Before that, we do see a very lovingly designed character model by our friend Nomura.
That's true. That's true.
It's like a classic FF10 bathing suit attire, like pants, but also ass out.
Yeah, those are just chaps. Those are riding
chaps on a bikini.
It's very funny that I took a picture to mention it, but I forgot to mention it because when I snapped the picture, it's perfectly when a little kid with a balloon is running in front. So
yeah,
I couldn't
perfect.
see it. And I was like, why did I take a picture of this kid with a balloon? Anyway.
That's the 4Kids version of the anime localization to the US. It's like Goku
awesome
pissing somewhere and they cover his little wiener with a shrub.
But Shalinda's giving a broadcast, right?
God, this camera looks like a goddamn gun. It's so silly.
I love it. It looks like the Alchemist gun.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I also just took a bunch of screenshots of as the camera was panning by and everything, and there's just a woman wearing kind of an interesting thing and a very strange looking dog.
Yeah, I remember those dogs. I never see them so close up though.
Yeah. A high poly dog, which is interesting for this game.
So yeah, Shalinda's on the I forget the news because when it closes down, it says Blitzball for some reason on the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because ball is life.
You can't go anywhere in Luca without hearing about Sphere Break. And now it's just about time for the competition to get underway. But first, a word from our sponsor, Lord Rin.
And up on the it's kind of like the entryway arc.
Yeah, I think it's the bridge that we walk on, right?
This is a weird angle because I don't think this level was built to be viewed from this perspective.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just looking out of bounds.
Mm-hmm,
he is surrounded by 3 triplets, I imagine. Just the
I was
same
getting ready to say
woman.
3 twins, and I didn't think about why that's not correct.
It sounds like a fucking Spin Doctors song. But yeah, just exact character models.
2 princes and 3 twins. Well.
I bet these are Lucille's 3 sisters, it feels like.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. One of them's getting...
Yeah, she wanted to join the youth league, and everyone else is like, well, I'm just going to hang out with Rin.
Yeah, one of them's getting real snuggly with him. It's pretty good.
She can't stop stroking his chin or whatever.
Nuzzling.
But
yeah, he says, I am looking forward to a fair competition. May the best man win. And then Riku says, go time. And then he says something in Albed, which I believe says, good luck
to you.
Yeah, good luck to you. Yeah. And then we get the Sphere Break tournament qualifications, where it basically just tells us that if you lose 3 matches, you're eliminated. If you win 3 matches, you get to move on to the finals.
That's right.
Kind of weird for a tournament structure. They also make this game sound like it's a competition against someone else. And like in previous games, it's like, okay, well, we had Blitzball in the last Final Fantasy X game, and that was definitely against another like set of competitors.
It's more like a Sudoku tournament where like
you
go up to each member and then they have a Sudoku puzzle.
Who's the best at doing math? This is a 15 puzzle fucking competition, but that they're like, it's 2 players. You got to challenge someone. I mean, I guess we did do that on the podcast before, but
yeah. Well, yeah. In this case, it's not even like you're like not competing to see who can do it faster or anything like that. It is just like you go up to somebody.
If you win, then you win.
Yeah, it's like going up to somebody and then playing a game of solitaire while they watch you, and then if you were able to beat solitaire, they lose.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I guess I don't even understand if there's like an in the game reason for it to like be that you have to challenge someone. They have like. So basically, you go up to people and you talk to people, and they have different challenge levels. Like they have different star levels of different things that you have to do within the game to get the points that you need to win. But it's not like, oh, I just did this. It's not like, I can't even think of a game as an example where you're like, oh, I leveled up my deck, and you have to play against my deck. I'm not actively playing, and I'm passively kind of just like set up this challenge for you. It's just like, oh, there's these 2 shitty little kids who are like, we're really good at this, and they have a harder version of the game that of the puzzle you have to solve.
Well, my favorite thing to do on the podcast is to explain intricate mechanics of side quests and mini games. Yeah. So, Sphere Break.
It's a really fun game.
I gave up like 2 matches in.
There is so once you begin Sphere Break, with the board that you're looking at is a 4x4 grid of numbers, right? So the numbers are 1 through 9.
Before it gets into that, we do receive a bunch of coins, which I don't understand that, but they correspond to different like creatures. Like you get reptile coins, you get wasp coins, you get Ahriman coins, and most importantly, you get
there might
5
be some
bird
meta
coins.
games to know like what might be most likely to get drawn if you already know that you've already played those coins.
So there's a little bit of something to it.
So it's like counting cards in
the tutorial. It also says that like when you play a card, it like a coin, it like disappears. They give you like 5 of them, but it almost feels like at this point in playing Sphere Break that doesn't matter. Like you don't get to choose. It's not like you get to choose which cards like in Queen's Blood in Rebirth or anything. But
the thing about the coins and the setup and everything in Sphere Break is that it does not matter. Nothing fucking matters. It is completely irrelevant. But you're looking at a 4x4 grid of numbers, right? And each of these numbers are one of the coins, quote unquote. And they have a number 1 through 9 on them. There are no zeros, so it's just 1 through 9. The center of the 4, because again, it's a 4x4 grid, so the center, like 2x2 block, are colored gold, where the outer perimeter is colored silver.
Yeah.
And then in the very center of the grid, there's a blue sphere or a blue orb that has a number on it as well.
Also, when we say it has numbers on it, this is in the cool Spira font, which is like very fucking early 2000s, like edgy kind of graffiti style.
It's very stylized.
Not the easiest thing to always look and be like,
it's true.
Is that a fucking 1 or is that a 7?
That's true. But
when you hover over it in the game, it does show you the exact number, but it's kind of throwing a lot of visual information at you, and that kind of fucked me up a couple times.
I had a hard time finding someone to play first also.
There's so few people to play. Bam. So the number in the middle.
It's all the rage. Go to these 3 different screens to find a competitor.
So the number in the middle that's on the blue sphere is your target number, right? So it might be like a 5, say. And that means you need to pick numbers from your 4x4 grid that add up to a multiple of 5. So it can always be a multiple of that number. So no matter what number you have, as long as it's a multiple of it. And the gameplay UI actually shows you the number you're aiming for and the next 2 multiples as you build up, so you can kind of look and see what you want. So if say like the number 7, you might not like know your 7's times tables or whatever, and you're already past...
in my case that is exactly how it went.
And you may already be like past 21 or something, so it'll show you 21, 28, 30, 4, 5. I don't know, it's 4.
I like how you went with the most difficult one.
Yeah. Well, that's the point.
7 remake, 7 remake.
Crisis Core before Crisis.
That's right.
I can count 7.
And the other rule is you must start with one of your gold coins. You have to use a gold coin in the numbers that you're picking. So you need to use one of the middle 2x2, right?
Yeah.
And then
I think your middle coins as well always stay the same, right? Those numbers are always set for the entire game. It's set.
They do.
Whereas when you choose some of the ones around the perimeter, those will disappear and then refresh, and you'll get different numbers.
So the goal of the game, right, is to use those coins to build to your target number, and each round. Like a round is like hitting a number. So if you have 7 and you hit a 21, that's a round, right?
Yeah.
The round ends once you hit a multiple of that number.
That's
correct. Yes.
So you have to plan your flips accordingly. Like, don't want to, if you're overshooting, you got to make sure that there's going to be a multiple coming up.
Because the ultimate goal of it is there's something called a quota, and you need to get a quota of coins that you can do. So, Curtis, how am I supposed to get 50 coins in 15 turns of 45-second timers?
So the easier versions of it have more turns and a lower quota, and the quota is scored by the number of silver coins that you use, right? So the more that you use in any target number or in any round, the more score is added to it. So say if I used a gold coin and then 3 silver coins, I'd have 3 points, right? That would get added to my
3 towards
my
your quota. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And then the other thing is, like you were saying, once you pick those numbers, the silver coins will be wiped from the screen.
Yeah.
And each coin that you pick in the lower left-hand corner will have like an attribute to it, right? And some of their attributes might be that they add more coins back to the playing field. So if you use 3 silver coins, but in your attributes...
Oh, that's what it meant.
You see add coins plus 3, you won't actually lose any, and you can continue to use as many as you need. So you have to be cognizant of that.
That makes way more sense. I was like, I just saw plus 3 coins. I'm like, well, I'm trying to get more coins in my quota, so let me let go with that.
Right.
And I didn't make that connection because I mean there is a very thorough tutorial that explains everything, and it gets even deeper than all of this, and it shows you as it goes through, but it's very dense. So
it's too dense.
And when you're dumb as hell like me, I was just like, fuck, this game wants me to do math now. Shit.
There is a surefire way to beat it pretty much. It's super easy and you don't need to worry about any of this crap.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing for like the final round. It's pretty sick.
So that's the general gist of the game. You do that, you build up your score, and once your score goes over the quota score, you win, right?
Yeah.
If you do too many rounds, say you aren't able to hit the quota in 15 rounds or however many you have, you lose the match. Or if you're unable to build the target number in a round, then you lose the match.
Yeah.
So
and it's just like you lose, like you just
straight up lose.
You pay-ish.
And that's included if you like select all of them and you never actually hit the number and you have nothing left to select, you automatically lose. Or if you don't complete it in time, because each turn while you're building the target number only has like 45 seconds to be able to put it together.
Yeah.
So once you do all that, you get to the quota, you win. And like you were saying, though, as we get more difficult and more difficult encounters, the quota goes higher, the turn count goes lower, to the point where it's like, how am I going to build 50 quota in only like 10 turns or whatever?
Especially because you would think, like, if you're kind of following along with this and you've never played this before, you'd think, okay, well, you need silver coins, and at any given time you have 16 coins on there, or
16 total coins.
Yeah, you have like around like 16 coins. Or I guess it would be 12. You have 12 of the silver coins. So in any turn, the maximum that you could get would be like 12 coins. But the problem is if you somehow got a multiple that you could add up in a way that you did all of the coins, then you would pretty much be fucking yourself, because then you have either 0 coins for the next round, or you would only get a few back, and then you would be severely like reducing.
Or you don't have anything to flip and can't get a multiple.
That's true. That's true. So the way to actually do it is that there's a thing called a chain bonus, that if you use the exact same... I'm sorry, an echo. My mistake. It is called an echo. If you use the exact same amount of coins to make the target number multiple turns in a row, it'll add a multiplier. And so the first time you do it, it's like a multiplier of 1, so it doesn't really matter, right? So if I like
you
use
don't
3
really
coins,
feel it. Mhm.
Yeah, you won't feel it. Use 3 coins to build your target in the first turn. You use 3 coins to build it in the next turn. It's going to be the same. You'll have a score of 4 at least, right? If you used 1 gold coin and 2 silver. However, if you do it again, you get a ×2 multiplier and then a ×3 multiplier, on and on and on. And like numbers multiply together real quick. So
Yeah.
if I'm able to use, like if I can get
You think you like addition? How about multiplication, baby?
We're getting fucking exponential in this bench.
Exactly. So if I can get an echo of like 5 or 6, I can just wipe through like 20, 30 points in 1 or 2 turns. Like not even a big deal.
So like the pretty much the strat is to do like the smallest number of silver coins possible. So if it's like, oh, okay, well I need to get to a multiple of it's like the core number is 4 and I have a coin that says 3 and then I select a 1 on the silver coin. You only get 1 coin for that turn, but then you can echo that by hopefully getting something similar to that next time, where you only use 1 silver coin the next time, so it's like 2 coins total. Then you get the ×2 and then you do that again, then you get the ×3.
Right. Which is an easy strategy to be able to do, and you can get really, really high scores that way. It's pretty foolproof with one big exception. One big exception.
Is the one big exception 1?
It's 1. Because the target number in the middle can be any number 1 through 9, right? But because of that, occasionally it will be the number 1, and every whole number is divisible by 1. So no matter what your chain bonus is, it will ruin it, because you'll pick your gold coin, and your gold coin is in fact divisible by 1, because every whole number is divisible by 1, and it throws your echo off. You no longer have echo. You have to build it back up from the beginning.
I got 2 fucking 1s in a row, and I was like, fuck. And it's like, well, at least there was kind of maybe a multiplier there. And I'm like, no, but the multiplier is still just 1. So it was just 2 turns, and then I had to build up a fucking chain again.
That's right. So I had to do the final, and we'll talk about it in a second here. I had to do the final match twice. One time because I just kept getting 1s. I was like, what the hell? I like 3 1s in one match. This is stupid.
All lucky 1s.
And then the second match, I didn't get any 1s at all, and I was done by like turn 6. I was just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. It's super easy that way.
I also had to do it twice just because I got really dumb brain at one point, and I think in the last round you have 45 seconds to get to a quota of 50, and you have 15 turns. And at one point I was just trying to do quick math in my head, which is not something I can do very easily. And I was just sitting there being like, wait, how do I do this? And I just watched the timer go down as my brain just like melted out of my ears. I'm like, I'm too dumb for this shit.
So I didn't do that on the last match, but I did do that on the second match. I had to do the second match twice in a row too.
Make sure you save between matches.
Which is annoying because there's not really a
quick load,
an easy to access save sphere. So if you don't have like the autosave on each screen, it gets kind of annoying.
Yeah, and after you do the last qualifying round before you go to the final, it automatically throws you into the final.
You're in the final, no chance to save. So if you just
mess it up, you have to do 2 rounds again.
Yeah, so like imagine, listener, I'm sure this has probably happened to a lot of people where they were able to still learning the game and everything, and this is like kind of very blitzball in a way where it just throws all the information at you. It's a really cool game. It's hard to grasp, and then they're just like, ha! Like it's like the most important one that can lock you out of shit if you don't win it, and just go for it, and you can lose a lot of progress, because if you win, like if you're like at a ratio of like I've won 2 and I lost 2, so the next game I need to win, and then you win it, so you've played 5 games total, it just kicks you right into the hardest championship match, and then you lose, and they add insult to injury, much like they did with the Luca Goers, by making it you lose to the worst fucking character imaginable, who's a fucking asshole about it, and then you're like, fuck, and then you have to just reload and do it all over. So win 2, save, and then you should be fine.
Speaking of the worst character imaginable, after you do your qualifying rounds, which are like, again, kind of difficult to find. Where are they all? You know what I mean? Like, most people don't want to play with you.
There's a huge crowd of people, and they're all playing Sphere Break, and then you talk to them, and they're like, dang, I only need to win one more. That's exciting. Or then they go, oh man, if I lose one more, I'm out. And a lot of them that's where their dialogue ends, and then some other people are just like, I'm just warming up. I'm on a roll. Are you ready to play me? And you're like, I fucking guess. I'm not really playing you. I'm just you decided the quota that I had to do? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why.
See, if I was playing Sphere Break, if somebody challenged me to Sphere Break, I'd be like, quota 100, turns 5.
Yeah, you get 5 turns to get 311 in the quota.
That's right.
I did it. You just gotta believe me.
That's right.
You lose. Oh well. Eat shit.
But the ones that I had the most trouble with here were probably like the kids by like the fountain, where I think their quota was like 40. And
they're kind of tough.
Yeah, it was kind of tough, and that was still when I was trying to learn the game, and I was just like not good at it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I am like. It is a little lucky if you have the Switch, if you're playing on the Nintendo Switch, because like. If I get a difficult multiple, like a 7 or something, I can just kind of like visually take stock and then just hit the home button and just sit there and be
I didn't even think of that. That's so smart. Fuck. That's really smart.
Oh, I guess even better, you could take a screenshot. I didn't even do that. I just hit the home button and was like, what numbers do I have here?
Yeah, I was just frantically typing on my like computer's calculator.
Yeah. So after we beat our 3 qualifying rounds, right? We're automatically pushed into the finals, and when we're pushed into the finals, it begins a cutscene, and we see Riku like on her knees, like defeated,
dejected.
Oh, I was so close. Who beat you?
It's elementary, really, once you get the hang of it.
And reveal, it's fucking Shinra.
Yeah, it's Shinra.
It's Shinra.
Of course.
Little snot boy. I'd like to smack that
kid. And of course, he's
kid.
like, it's elementary once you get the hang of it, you know?
He's such a fucking... It's like, there's always, in like sci-fi, there's always like that super annoying kid that like, for whatever reason, they're like, well, we need to have an annoying as hell kid. And it's like, you don't need to. You can make a kid who's not annoying as shit.
Is it possible? I don't know. I don't know if technology has advanced that far yet.
There's no Wesley in this game.
Yeah. You know, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Now that you mention it, sidebar, I just watched Star Trek Next Generation for the first time last year. Wesley, not that bad. I'm going to say it. Not that bad.
I think Wesley might be the one who inspired the character of Qbert on Futurama, who is also a little shit. And they like intentionally made him extremely annoying because they were like trying to pay homage to that trope.
Yeah.
Of course.
Also, his sweater's incredible. Would wear 10 out of 10.
It should have been Urkel.
So, Shinra challenges us to a match. Yuna says, you're going down. And Shinra says, the probability you'll win is slim at best.
Yeah,
and
he says, once I outplay Yuna, the tournament is mine. It's like, shut the fuck up, you little dork.
Fucking Mandark.
Yeah, he is fucking Mandark, dude.
So I lost the first time, and there's like an entire outro cutscene, right, for it, where they announce Shinra the winner of the Sphere Break tournament, and Lord Rin says, "Oh, congratulations," and gives him the dressphere, right? And then we hear an intercom from Brother, and he's like, "Hey, good job, Shinra. Now let's see what Yuna looks like in that dressphere." And he's like, "No, that's my dressphere.
This is my dressphere." It's like,
yeah, it's like mine. And everybody looks like super like surprised, like, oh, you fucking asshole. They just say, "You
and
selfish
then he goes,
little."
I'm just a kid.
And he says, "I'm just a kid," and that's the end of that scene.
Ain't I a stinker? Like, fuck you little shit.
The first thing he says in the cutscene is, come back in another 1,000 years.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, that must fucking hurt. Like, I guess you were making a reference to Titus or something, right?
Yeah, he's like really going deep for the shit. Like, Jesus Christ.
But that is in fact one of the dresspheres of the game, and you cannot get it if you don't get it here. So reload, going back in time to my last save, because I will not be losing that.
Especially this dressphere. I was playing around with it a little bit, and this dressphere fucking rocks.
It's got some very, very useful skills to it.
Yes. It's very, very cool.
I'll probably have to go back and do it now that I may just find a strat.
It has
Yeah,
some...
it's literally just try and do multiples of like one coin, build up that chain, and you should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you win, Yuna does her victory pose. She
Alex,
says,
it's
I
actually
won.
quite elementary once you get the hang of it.
All right, Poindexter. Yes,
But,
give you a fucking swirly in the Celsius.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I know where you live. Beat you up. So yeah, when you win, Yuna says, I won. She has a little victory pose. Shinra says, yeah, well, my goggles fogged up. And it's like...
Yeah, not just
Yeah.
a sore fucking loser, but he's not a gracious... or I was going to say a sore winner, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck this kid. He sucks.
That's right.
The point is, he sucks. I hate him.
So Rin congratulates us, gives us the dressphere, and we see that we have gotten the Lady Luck dressphere.
Nice.
I also like that Shalinda's dialogue. They only had her do one take of it. There's two ways that this thing can pan out.
Right.
And instead of having her use like pronouns for each thing, they were just like, just say there. That's fine. So all the gamers who were complaining like there is like a new thing that like games do, it's like they fucking did it here because it was smart. Like,
Wait, what?
she says, so either way, Shalinda will always say, presenting their award is our sponsor, Lord Rin. She says that if Yuna wins or
I see.
so they like, that's just economical. That's just, oh, okay, yeah. Let's say there so we don't have to get two takes from her. We can pay her less.
You can pay the voice actor less.
Yeah.
So the Lady Luck dressphere, Yalms.
Unless it is technically a dress sphere for all three of us, so.
Yeah.
That is true.
So did you guys look at what they look like? 'Cause
Yes.
I noticed something very interesting with it.
They're like gambling wizards.
This is what I imagine is the default dress sphere for LeBlanc.
Oh.
Because they all just
maybe.
look like they're wearing LeBlanc things. And the reason I realized this was because if you look at the each of the members of our team has a different
my God, you're
set
right.
of cards.
Oh
so
my
it's,
God, you're
there's like
right.
the club, the spade, and the diamond. And I was like, oh, interesting that they didn't use the heart. And then I was like, who would have the heart? And I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is just LeBlanc's outfit for all of our party members. And she completes the set. She is the heart.
Wow. Well,
heart of the
you are
cards.
absolutely
She's
right
the
about
heart
that.
of the cards. It also reminds me of Drill of Twitter fame has been streaming on Twitch, the Piss stream. I think I've brought it up before, but I
Yes.
forget what they were
Countless
talking about.
times.
Yeah, it's countless times. I'm a big fan. Everyone go watch Piss. But Derek on the Piss stream recently just was trying to figure out like a way to describe like a deck of cards, like what the shapes are, and he just called them gambling shapes, and now I will only think of them as gambling shapes. So we got our full set of gambling shapes here.
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah, so Lady Luck has a lot going on. I feel like that's
There's a lot with Lady Luck.
Is this catchy slots again?
Yes.
that's one of the things that's on there.
Yes, there is.
Nice.
There is slots. There is. You can unlock an attack called 2 dice, which is also just a catchy Kate Sith limit break. I've been using it as Yuna because we're also getting to a point where we should probably help Owaka pay off his debt. So I've been trying to come up with get rich quick schemes in this game, and I've just been trying to level up. This enough because I think after you get enough AP in it, you'll eventually get random slots, which I think you can do a thing where if you get like a certain thing. I think it also works like Final Fantasy VII where you can kind of game it a little bit and you can like hit pause to like know which one you're going to hit.
Oh.
And you can get a thing that says congratulations that just gives you like, depending on the enemies, like the enemies just all give you gil and it's like 600 times the amount of gil that they would normally give you or something. So like very high level ones just give you like 32,000 gil apparently.
Shit.
So I was like, oh, let me work towards that. And I've just been playing around with Lady Luck in the Thunder Plains and it's really fun. The dice one is really, really fun. The way that works is Yuna throws 2 gigantic, a set of gigantic dice and, it'll give you a chain of attacks with whatever number gets there. So it'll build a chain and then you can attack with pain off of that if you want. Kind of like Trigger Happy, but it does a lot of damage. And I've rolled Snake Eyes a couple of times, and Snake Eyes gives you a bonus of times 20 damage. So you only hit with a 2 chain, but it's times 20 the base damage that you would do, so it just fucking destroys everything.
That's so wild.
And if you roll like 2 3s, you also get like a multiplier for that as well. I think it's like ×2 or something.
Attack
and then you can
reels.
you can unlock 4 dice as well, which is like a similar thing. I think if you get 4, like if you get Snake Eyes twice, so you have 4 ones, it does ×100 damage.
Oh wow! Holy
Yeah,
crap.
so you can get some real. I think that is just straight up random. Like I don't think there's any way to change that, especially because when she throws the dice, sometimes they'll just bounce off of like Riku or something and like change trajectory.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really. I was having a lot of fun with it, just like leveling up.
So and it is. I heard Alex mention it just now. There's not just a reel, right? You don't just use slots. There's 4 different slots that you can choose
so you start
from.
with attack. That's already unlocked. And then you get magic, which is, I think, like 70 AP to unlock. I think there's an item one.
That's right.
And then there's also random. And random's the one for, like, good gil, I guess. But I haven't gotten that one
congrats,
just yet.
sir.
Yeah, congrats, yeah. Rats off to you.
Oh, of random reels, if you get all red 7s, you get a congrats. Enemies hand over items as a bribe and leave the battle. The party wins extra gil and also normal XP and gil. It's like, all right, we give up. We win.
Yeah, really sick.
The attack one, it does give you, like, you remember Ketchi had fucking game over or whatever if you got all 7, or if you got all Ket faces. Yeah, in this case, you get Zantetsu, right? You get like Odin's move.
Shin Zantetsu attempts to KO all of target party.
Yeah. My favorite is one that I've been getting quite a bit as I was just using that attack reels, just like spamming through it to try and build up AP. If you get nothing on the things, Yuna uses an attack called Dud. You've got the dud and just a bunch of like old timey looking weights, like like little scale weights or something, just like drop on each of your heads, and I think it does 75% like gravity damage to everyone in your party. So my strat for it was just use attack reels until I got dice, and if I started queuing up a dud, I was like, oh fuck! So I just had Riku do the mega potions thing.
I got you.
That works out well too, because I've been buying mega potions to help Owaka with his debt anyway. So that's just been my strat.
Let's see. We didn't talk about the auto abilities yet, right?
Right, auto abilities.
It has some auto abilities. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
The one, the very first one on there. Oh my goodness! Always inflict critical hits.
Damn, I didn't even find that one yet. I don't think.
Yeah. It's like that Marvel hero, I guess she's in Deadpool, Domino, where's her superhero.
Oh, she's just super lucky, right?
That's her whole superpower.
Yeah.
Double XP.
Double XP.
I unlocked that one when I saw that. I was like, well, that one...
How can you say no?
Is a lot of AP, but it makes sense to get as soon as fucking possible, because I think I'm just going to be rocking this for quite some time.
One is Spell Spring, or specifically SOS Spell Spring. Whenever your HP is low, MP cost is 0. That's awesome.
Oh, that's fucking sick. Holy shit.
Yep. Gillionaire doubles all your gil and double items. Incredible.
Just like the casino dressphere. I fucking love this. This is so
It's really good. And it actually has some other things it can do too. Like, we're not even like done with everything it can do. It also just has an ability called Tantalize that just inflicts confuse on every enemy. And it also has Bribe, so we can like use bribing from Final Fantasy X.
So wild.
It's got a lot going on there.
I'm reading the behind the scenes. It is implied that LeBlanc's outfit is a Lady Luck dress sphere,
there you go.
as the mark on her chest is a heart. Yeah, one of the 4 suits of a deck of cards like the spade, club, and diamond on the chests of Yuna, Riku, and Pain. Yeah. This raises more questions than it answers, though, because you're like, oh, it answers that question. It's like, okay, so if Yuna wears a dress sphere that LeBlanc would typically wear, then she looks like Yuna wearing an outfit similar to LeBlanc's. But when LeBlanc wears a dress sphere of a job that Yuna is supposed to have, she just fucking turns into Yuna.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see what LeBlanc's songstress dress sphere looks like. It's probably awesome, but instead they're just like, no, she's just Yuna.
A line sometimes said by Yuna at the end of battle, game over, man, game over.
Oh, that's really cute.
I'm trying to like find a joke here in the attack reels. like, is there some kind of like transforming thing? Or like LeBlanc like uses a reel to like look like Yuna.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I can find nothing. So just imagine that joke would have been great.
It's a dud.
It's a dud.
Anyway.
Oh, it's a dud. Pretty good.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, you roll three unalike reels, and then that little picture of Millhouse comes out.
And Homer's face just slowly smiles.
Yeah.
You got the dud.
But that's Luca. Wow, what a ride.
What
Goodness.
What a lot
Actually,
to talk about for a quick section of the game.
Speaking of which, we've only been through 2 areas, but we're like 50 minutes in. Should we go ahead and take a break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this would be a good time to visit the cabin. Once chapter.
Yeah, we gotta pop up to the Celsius.
We gotta see what everyone else is talking about.
All right.
What they think of sphere break.
Well, I will see you all when we return.
All right. Sleep tight.
Another thing that bothers me about Sphere Break, by the way, is you talk to fucking Shalinda or Rin or someone, and they say, if you find any rare coins, you must definitely, absolutely must come back to play in Luca. Do we get more coins later on in the game?
I think you can find coins, but they don't do anything for you, really.
Yeah, like,
Hogs.
what the fuck? This is like, because we've had Final Fantasy games where they've had mini games like this that open up, like Triple Triad or Tetramaster or like Queen's Gambit in the new one. It's like, all of that shit's built in, and you're like, oh, cool, I actually got a really cool card that I would like to try out and stuff. And it's got all the makings like it's going to be like that, and it is a fun game, but...
Yeah.
Mesu King and Yakuza.
Yes.
Have you played that?
I have not played any of the Yakuza games. I need to, though. I know they're amazing.
It's a game... Kiryu finds a playing card with a scantily clad lady dressed as a beetle on the ground, and some kid is like 10 years old.
Oh, I know
like,
the game you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's basically just like bikini clad girls dressed like beetles who are wrestling, but it's a kids game.
Sounds nothing like
right.
this game. Bikini clad
right.
girls as a kids game.
But you can find cards all over Kamurocho or whatever.
Oh, that's cool. I love a mini game like this in games, but I don't even think this unlocks a thing where it's like, I mean, we have used this button to try and get that guy married, and then use this button to talk about how cool that company is or whatever. But they don't have one for like, oh yeah, you can play fucking Sphere Break with this person. Is that only a thing in Luca? That's kind of weird. Not like weird, like it doesn't matter, like who cares, but I'm just like, damn, missed opportunity.
Would you like to play some Lucky Hit? But now we can go to
the Mi'hen Highroad. We
were just there.
But Mi'hen Highroad is not having a fiend problem, but they are having a machina problem. So all the machina that we've seen, like...
Is it machina or is it machines?
I think it's a machina problem. When it's a problem, it's machina.
They say machina.
When it's good, it's a machine.
These
These damn doodads are out of control.
All the machina we've seen up and down Mi'hen Highroad have gone berserk, right? Like they're going crazy, they're attacking people, it's pandemonium. And like they do set that up, right? In that
is pandemonium in this game too, or is that just...
That's right. They do set that up in that like the first time we come here, we say like, oh, there's no more chocobos here anymore, you know, everything's machina now. And so we've been here a couple times and seen like how machina have taken over the area. So all those ones that we've seen this whole time are now gone berserk. They're attacking people.
Never catch me in an electric car.
All the electric cars have gone crazy.
I mean, that is also true in this world.
Yeah.
Elon, help.
My Cybertruck, its pedal just fucking fell off and jammed itself in, so I can't stop accelerating. Oh no, there's a child in front of me.
Yeah, so there's not even like really like nobody like comes and tells us like, hey, the Machina have gone crazy. We just enter and we hear some narration from Yuna and she's like, nah, it doesn't really have anything to do with the fiends, but the Machina's gone crazy. So there's that. And then it just goes right into Riku being like, all right, let's beat those Machina up. And then
let's mangle those Machina and take the reward.
And then Yuna breaks the fourth wall once again and says, it's mission time. And then in fact it is mission time.
Yeah, she says it's mission time. This is Final Fantasy X-2.
But we get our mission time description, right? Machina Mayhem. The Machina deployed along the Mi'hen Highroad have started attacking innocent people. Take out the misbehaving Machina and restore peace to the Highroad. Objective: incapacitate 13 tandems of Machina. Tandems?
A nice little detail of
right?
this section of game is anytime you go like to any of these locations, Buddy and Shinra are also there. That's like Shinra obviously was at the last one, but you can talk to Buddy and he's like, "Oh, I'm just checking things out." And I'm like, "Oh, it's nice to see him on the ground. Like that's pretty sick."
Oh yeah, Shinra's like also planting some sphere points as we go around too.
Yeah, there's like a sphere that's in the bridge, I guess, of the Celsius, that if you try to interact, he's like, "That's my new invention. It's the calm sphere or whatever."
I would like to say real quick, because I was just curious, I was like, defeat the tandems of Machina, and according to the Oxford Dictionary, a tandem
what are
can
those
be
dorks know?
2 or more machines working together.
Yeah.
How about that?
Like
How about
a tandem
that?
bicycle.
Tandems. That's the first definition. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. See?
Yeah, anyway. But
Yeah, I'm not math smart. I'm fucking words smart. But another nice little detail is anytime you talk to Buddy to go to a destination, he says, "Leave the fee negotiations to your friendly neighborhood buddy."
I love that. Yeah, that's really good. So the mission here is to defeat all the Machina that you see up and down the high road, and they're not like random battles. They're actually on the map, right? And they're doing various things like chasing people around or running in circles or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also a team of Albed that are also destroying Machina from the other end, right? Or not even from the other end, because you see some as you go. You don't see
they're
team
just
of
you don't
Albed.
see them doing any. Sometimes you can see their handiwork, like if you don't.
They're
if you-
anywhere.
You'll see some that are already destroyed, but
Right. So there's only so many Machina that need to be taken out. I think it's
only
the
13 tandem Machina.
Yeah, and you get a better reward if you take out more than half. So if you take out 7 or more, then you'll get a reward for this area. So that's what you want to do. Is you want to go fast, take them out.
A tasty treat.
I don't think the timer goes when you're in battle, so it's just walking around the map is all you really have to worry about.
I think it literally says like, "Oh, it's not actually a race, but you should try and kill more Machina than your competitors."
Yeah, that's right.
They don't know what's at stake.
Yeah, this isn't a race, but you should do your best to strike down the majority of the Machina yourself.
So this is very confusing because once you get to like the shop output, like the inn area, like there's nothing there.
Yeah,
so I thought like I had to turn around and
the
go back. Like
The same thing happened to me. The counter just disappears.
the music's still going though.
Yeah.
And you see like Shinra come out of the inn.
There's every now and then you can get into a random encounter that fighting Machina, but it doesn't count for this specific mission. And the battle theme isn't like the main like race music, I guess, or whatever that's playing here. It's just the regular battle theme, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess these ones don't count.
Be sure to get the Machina hidden behind that tipped over tower in the beginning.
Oh yeah, where it's indicated on the map with a green square, which I was just like, well, that seems like it's an entrance, and I feel like I'm on the clock, so let me just continue forward because I see something in the distance.
Oh, I didn't know the green squares marked the
sometimes,
fights.
not always.
Okay.
There's a lot of inconsistency with the mini map, specifically in like this part of the game that I noticed.
Oh man, this fucking slaps. I switched to Dark Knight for the first time with Yuna, so like
that shit rocks.
The animation is just so cool.
Ooh, that does look sick. That's really good.
Just in Psycho Brothers.
Speaking of it, yeah, I actually, for all these fights, I was using the heck out of Dark Knight. I was using Darkness over and over and over the whole time.
Darkness plus Mix is so fucking good.
It's so good. Yeah, you're invulnerable forever.
But the Machina were fucking inflicting darkness on my party members a lot this whole way through. It was driving me nuts.
Oh, the Darkness status. That's right.
I have a ribbon on Riku, but aside from that, I was just like, fuck.
You know what skill does not give a shit whether or not you have the darkness status? Darkness.
That's true, yeah. And Mix.
That's right, yeah. They actually have like quite a bit of HP too, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
they can
not
blind you and they're kind of tough.
They're not just like a completely mindless battle, I would say.
The enemies in the game are now as difficult as the enemies in like the opening area of a NES RPG would be.
Yeah, exactly. They also drop dark grenades, which I guess inflicts darkness, which makes sense because they're fucking inflicting darkness on us constantly.
But once you, I mean, is there anything else we want to say about this area or the battles?
We continue on. He had to like curl
What was
around
your
back
final
down
count?
too.
Yeah, what was your final count with the?
We basically have to follow the Mi'hen Highroad all the way down to the low road, right, in order to complete this.
Yeah, I don't have my final count. It must have been like 8, something like that.
I did 7. You tied?
Yeah, and it said, but I think I still got the requirements.
Did you get 7? Because there's only 13 of them.
It
so
says
have,
that
like,
you have
6,
6, and it might have been like you had 6, and then the Albed had 6, but you had to run back to that first one where the green square was, because that's what happened to me. And then you don't see your count go up to 7 at that point because that ends the game. So that's what happened to me, at least.
I got like a screen said the Albed got rid of all the rest of them or something like that when I hit the end of the road or something. So
Interesting.
Yeah, I ended up taking out the last one. So 12 had already been taken out, and then I took out the final 13th
Yeah,
one.
I took
so
out
I knew what the last one was.
Yeah.
But
it seemed to work.
Yep. But yeah, once we're done, we all meet on the bridge with some of the people who work on the Mi'hen Highroad.
This is the location where we saved what's her face from the Chocobo
Callie,
leader.
yeah.
Callie, yeah. Who could forget Callie from
Who
Final
could forget
Fantasy X?
Callie? Yeah, they say, thanks for all your help. Here's your reward, as promised. And then I did not take a screenshot of what the reward was.
The reward is 10,000 gil, which is going right into Wawaka's pocket.
Thank you.
And then Riku says, so what made the Machina go all haywire? We do get another thing, but I think it's after this dialogue, so I figured I would just read it now. And the person who paid us for this says, none of us can figure it out. Pretty creepy, huh? We found agency property smashed up, then the hover crashed, and then we get a shot of the hover that is just like under the bridge. Just when we were about to look into that, the Machina went out of control. And then Yuna says, well, if you find anything out, be sure and give the Gullwings a call. And then asks if we're ready to head back, and Riku says,
Now that wasn't a very feel-good ending, now was it?
People who want happy endings have to write their own.
Oh, what about me? I want a happy ending too.
but wasn't there some weird shit at this location with Riku being all like weird and suspect and...
Well, there was the first episode that we did where, or was it the second episode? It was the second episode where we saw the hover approaching the bridge, and then Riku runs onto the bridge, and then the next scene you don't see the hover anymore.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's related, especially with the dialogue with Pain and shit, where she's like,
We'll just have to wait and see.
yeah, perhaps.
And also during the mission complete, right? While the mission completes, like it has a camera that's panning over the crowd that's standing there after we've like saved everybody. Only in the corners, only if you like look very closely, Rin is there, and he's the only person who's not cheering, and he has like his head in his hands. He's doing like a thinking pose.
Oh
right?
yeah, I see him. Yeah.
But he's only seeable in like one camera angle and only just in the corner, just for a moment. And he's the only person not celebrating. He's like, like trying to think. It's important.
Good to know. Much to think about.
Much to think about.
We also,
we
get the Undying Storm.
That's right.
Sphere grid, right? Garment grid?
Garment grid, yep.
Yeah.
That gives us a nice plus 15 strength and plus 15 magic. And also we can get more plus 15s as we like traverse the sphere.
Right.
It's Sparkler. What the fuck is Sparkler? I did not actually look at this or play around with it, but I'm also wondering which what the card looks like. I can never find that page that has everything spelled out with it.
Yeah, I'm looking for that right now. Usually it's right here, isn't it?
Maybe on Final Fantasy Otaku? Aha! I think I found it. I have no idea what's on the... It's like a structure of some kind. Maybe the Thunder Plains or something? No, I don't know.
Here we go. It's Luca.
Oh. Well, mystery solved.
There you go. Anyway, yeah. What did we say what it does?
Yes, it gives you some plus 15 strength and magic,
right.
and then you
You're
can get more of those as you traverse it.
Sweet strength and magic.
Seems pretty good. Yeah, we can talk to Riku back on the Celsius, and she says, I wonder why the Machina ran amok. Let's get to the bottom of this. And then when you talk to Pain, she says, when you think about it, this airship could malfunction too, which is kind of concerning. Yeah. Ever the optimist, Pain. She's like, this shit's not a Boeing, is it?
Yeah, and that's all we have to do for that area. We move on to Mushroom Rock Road next, right? Which is closed off.
Yes, but we do get a scene there.
It's literally we go there and they have like a indicator on the mini map to head in the direction of where the temple is. And when we go there, the machine faction is just kind of like, oh no, we got this under control. I think they said, who's their, is it Baralai their guy?
Wait, are you talking about Jose? You're talking about
No,
Rock
this
Road?
is Mushroom Rock Road.
Yeah. We go toward the headquarters, and then Yaibel is there.
Yaibel, yeah.
Yeah.
That kid.
But he says, no need for concern, Lady Yuna. Everything's under control. The fiends got close to the headquarters, but thankfully no further. The owl bed from Jose assisted us in fighting them off. And then Riku's like, oh, so was Gipple here? And he
Gipple,
goes,
that's
yes.
who I was thinking of.
Yeah. His group also brought us these machina. You know, he said something which still strikes me sort of odd. He told us not to depend on you so much, Lady Yuna. Which, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just, like, again, putting my own spin on this thing or whatever. Like, that doesn't seem that contentious.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, what the fuck? It's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I think everything these fuckers say is contentious.
Yeah.
They're like gearing up for war and shit. And they're like, it sounds, at least it's probably just because everyone's reaction to it makes me think like, oh, there's something else going on. But it's like, it really seems like they're like, oh yeah, we just wanted to give you a break, Lady Yuna. We didn't want to rely on you much. And it's like, every one of these motherfuckers has had ulterior motives like the entire time, and they're not cluing Yuna into stuff. They're like, yeah, just go focus on your spheres, just get the spheres and stuff. So they're like, nah, don't worry about it. We got it covered, Yuna. You don't have to go any further. That's my read on it, at least.
You know, he said something which still strikes me as sort of odd. He told us not to depend on you so much, Lady Yuna.
Me?
He said we need to rely on our own strength to defend Spira through the coming age.
Then we get a visit from an old friend.
That's right. Lucille's here. She comes out and says, like, hey, I know that you know that Maven Nuge is missing. You wouldn't have seen him, would you? And we're like, oh, no, we haven't seen him around. And she's like, oh, I've been looking for him. And we say, oh, well, if we do see him, we'll point him in your direction. We'll tell him to come home, right? She's like, oh, thank you. And then
tell that boy to come home.
And that's really it, right? Like, there's nothing else to do here, I don't think.
Yeah, their gliders are just, or whatever, their little hovercraft are blocking the way.
Yeah. We can talk to some of these guys. One of them says he's a member of the Elma squad, and he's on supply duty, but Captain Elma is on a super secret search mission.
Oh. Super secret.
If you talk to Payne after this on the Celsius, you just say, don't depend on Yuna or Nuge. That's what Gipple is really trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can also see Shinra fucking around with a comm sphere here. I think he says something about there being weird waves or something that's preventing it from having a good signal.
Yeah, I guess that's important to mention too. Like, I know you said it earlier when we were talking about Mi'hen Highroad, but like, the Shinra putting spheres everywhere will become a major plot point soon.
Yeah. So he's fucking around every time we land. Like, you'll immediately see him running. We could have seen him on Mi'hen Highroad. If you go all the way past where like the mini game isn't happening anymore, you see him like running out of the inn and like putting one down, and he says like, "Oh, I'm setting up a comm sphere."
Right.
He's always got some dialogue about that. There's also a guy. Yeah. He's hacking the planet.
That's right.
There is a guy who says, fiends coming out of the temples. What if this is all leading up to the return of sin?
Ooh.
So just kind of cool to see like the weird conspiracies that people are kind of coming up with. They're like, oh, maybe means sin's coming back.
Right.
Yeah. And there's also, he says, there's a rumor out of Bevel that New Yevon is going to attack.
Oh. Everybody's getting heated. I guess that is kind of important too, is that like the temperature of the world right now is not great. Yeah,
things are unlike our world. Things do not seem to be all that good.
Vegnagun is missing. Nuge is missing.
I've never seen Nuge and Vegnagun in the same room.
Well, we haven't even seen Vegnagun in a room.
In any room.
I mean, we saw a sphere of Vegnagun and Nuge in the same room. Like, Nuge and a sphere of Vegnagun.
That shit was AI. I don't believe it.
Well, that's coming up.
Nuge had fucking 7 fingers and they all looked like shit.
I mean, when we first took him the sphere.
Right.
But I'll tell you what is coming up right now for us.
The show is about to begin.
Fucking Tobley.
Yo, hell yeah. Ask a punk. Get to the gig.
That's right.
This is very much like my show last weekend.
So, the show that we sold tickets for and did promotions and got, saved the hype hello for, we shaved the hype hello for, has finally happened. It's happened. I think it's happening when we get there. And Tobley's just like, oh, I am so boned because like nobody is here. Like we didn't make any money.
Oh, if you talk to kids, there's people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or like, I can't think about the show until I track down the goods I lost.
Yeah, there's someone else who's just like, man, is that all that the fucking show was? Like, Tolby's been fucking hyping it up, and there's no way that was it.
Yeah, and it is just 3 of the musicians standing on top of a cart playing some weak ass beats.
I mean, it is just their weird tuneless thing where you hear a little boom, boom. Like they're not even playing together.
Yeah, they got better chops than this.
Yeah,
I feel like they're trying to. They're intentionally throwing. It's like when bands
throwing.
It's
like
when
Firefest out here.
Look,
it's like when bands are told they have to lip sync and they're like, "Fuck that shit." So like what Muse used to do on the one show where they had to do that, they would all switch instruments. So like Matt Bellamy would be very poorly pantomiming the drums, and like the drummer would be singing and shit.
Yeah.
Look, now here's the thing. Even though it is just a cheap set of 3 musicians making noise on a trailer, that's not always bad, because in 2007 at South by Southwest, Genghis Tron played on a trailer that was just being hauled around by their truck, and it was sick as fuck. So like, there's something else missing here.
I like what Shinra says about the Comsphere here. He says, if I install a Comsphere, we can watch the show from the Celsius.
But yeah, so Tobley's complaining about it, and he's like, oh, well, you know what I should have done? What I should have had? I need a celebrity. That's what I need. I should have had a celebrity hype the show up. And then Yuna just like completely blank-faced is like,
yeah, Yuna's like, oh, do you have any anyone in mind?
You know any celebrities? You ever met one? You know anybody? And then he's like,
I can't run a show without climactic passion.
Yeah, he
That's
does
what he
say that.
says.
But then Tobley's like, well, let's see here. Who's the most celebrated celebrity? Oh, I know. And then as soon as he's like, I've got it, Payne's like, Yuna, run right now. Don't ask questions. Just go.
Just go. I also like that he says, oh, shoe puff, which there's a lot of people who seem to use shoe puff as like a curse word. Weirdly, like he's like, oh, shoe puff. And then someone else says,
Poodoo.
Yeah,
that's right. But yeah, they all run away, and like even Yuna's like, "Oh, do we have to run away from him? Like maybe it'll be fun. Maybe we could do it." And she's like, oh, "Man," like Payne's just
I like how Riku's
come
like,
on.
Don't worry, Tobley, your next show will probably be better. And he's like, "There's not going to be a fucking next show, because this show is a no-show."
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was actually supposed to turn around and go back and talk to him, but I guess this will just kind of come back later.
Yeah, I do like that. When you get to the Celsius after this, like after you return to it, if you talk to Payne, she's like, speaking of acting, it'd be pretty amazing if Riku would act her age once in a while.
She says that in response to what Riku says to Yuna.
It's true.
Because Riku's like, oh, she acts all tough and everything, but I know deep down Payne really wants to be an actress.
Yeah, that's
Payne's
right,
like, yeah, maybe you should fucking act your age, asshole.
Yeah. It's really good. And then we have a bigger area to go to, right?
We're going to Guado Salon.
Yeah, more involved scene.
I just rode the shoe puff across the way and went.
Oh, that's smart.
Did you?
I went back to the Celsius. I talked to barkeep. I threw some money to Owaka. I took a nice little nap, and then I flew right to Guado
Salon. Yeah, so when we get there, LeBlanc's not there, right?
We do have a mission thing if we go from the Celsius that says...
she is there.
Yeah, it says, no missions. Yeah. Seems like the Syndicate's on vacation. I wonder what's up. Should we go ask LeBlanc?
That's right. Yeah, that's right, because we go in and we first see Ormi and Logos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking in the corner, like they're like facing the wall, right?
Well, first, what I always really love is that the goons out front just welcome me, like, "Hey, welcome."
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're fucking homies now. It's great.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we have the full set of cards now. We're all together on this.
Exactly.
Full deck.
Oh yeah, there's also a girl who's like, "This is my chance to like She's saying that there might be an opening for like some in the goons for her.
Yeah, we killed like most of the she goons, so now it's someone else's chance to step up.
That's right.
Not get murdered by us because we're friends now.
The timing couldn't be better. If I get buddy with the goons while they're off duty, I can land a job. Yeah, so
honestly, it seems like a pretty good job.
Getting gooned.
Yeah, just like being a fucking goon.
Gooning.
I want to be a low-level goon. That sounds way fucking better than my job. Hang out in a fucking chateau all day. You can be incompetent and they just like yell at you and you're like, all right.
Damn, you know what? You are making it kind of sound good.
Yeah, I want to be a fucking henchman.
Damn. Drop a grenade when you lose.
Yeah, just fucking
a budget
run.
grenade at that.
Yeah. You can lose your uniform and they're like, you.
I assume the
back
people
to
who
work.
lost their uniform on Gagazet are dead.
Oh, probably. It's a very harsh climate.
Yeah, like they're gone forever. Like we killed them.
Yeah, as we go into the chateau, Logos and Ormy are hanging out in the, I guess in the hall.
They're staring at the wall like in Billy Madison while you fall in love with the wall or something. No, I had an accident. They just both pissed their pants.
And they're like talking out loud amongst themselves, right?
Right.
And
they're
Ormy
saying
says,
it in like weird, like they're speaking weirdly.
Yeah. Or he's doing like a voice. He's like, oh, LeBlanc, there's nothing to worry about. And there's a pause.
Yeah, and Logos just goes, not even close. And then Ormy's like, oh, let's see you do it then.
LeBlanc, there's nothing to worry about.
Not even close.
Let's see you do it then.
LeBlanc, there's nothing to worry about.
Look who's talking.
And then Yuna's just like, hey, what are you fucking weirdos doing? And
they're like surprised.
Yeah. They just say, they mentioned that, their boss, LeBlanc, has been rather depressed since Nuge went missing, and they want to comfort her. And Riku's like, wait, so you were just trying to, like, do a Nuge impersonation? And Logos is like, oh, is that bad, huh? Yeah, Riku and Yuna both at the same time go, yep.
Yeah, and then like Payne asks the question that I feel like was in my head, where like she's like, how would that help? Like, would it even be a good idea? Would it even help if you could sound like Nuge? And the Logos and Ormy,
they're like, yeah, she
yes.
likes him. She likes him because the way he sounds, obviously.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with his like 10 out of 10 bod, with how fucking sexy he is.
Oh, Logos also uses another funky word here.
Yeah.
I've never seen the boss more lugubrious. Not even a massages seem to help. And over by the door where we could go into like the tunnels, there's a goon like the switch is acting up again, which is funny.
By the way, lugubrious meaning mournful, dismal, or gloomy, especially in an affected, exaggerated, or unrelieved manner.
It fucking
Lagunious.
Looking or sounding sad and dismal. Hell yeah. Yeah, you can also talk to that goon, and like the what's it called, the like trap door or whatever, like the secret passageway is open, which is what he's talking about. But if you talk to him again, he's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's already open, so might as well just like air it out.
It's not open yet.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of later then.
That's not until later.
Oh, okay, right. My bad. Disregard.
But so we have to go check on LeBlanc to see what her deal is, right?
And she is in fact looking lugubrious as all hell.
She could glum.
She's a glum chum.
She's just very mopey. Leave me alone. And Rika's like, don't you want to hunt some spheres? Like, would that get you excited? Come on.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna go on spheres. The Goings are gonna get all the spheres in Spira. Don't you want to stop us? And she's like, no, I don't care.
What difference does it make if... Yeah, it says there's no point in chasing after spheres if my Nuji Wooji isn't there to smile. What difference does it make? And Payne's like, you're a mess. Blanc's like, say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the end of it.
Not even her gold statue of Nuge can comfort her.
I like how there's like a fucking oud or something like in the background, like the musical instrument.
I don't see it.
It's like kind of like an acoustic guitar, but it's got like the tear-shaped body.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you go to the airship first before continuing, Riku says, that Nuge is such a meanie, leaving LeBlanc all alone like that.
Oh, that's cute.
But Yeah, if we go back down into the dining room,
it opens with like the trio eating like the fruit off the table, right?
Yeah,
they're facing it at very least.
I thought it looked like they were like holding
Yuna
shit up to
does
their
have
mouth.
her like something up to her mouth. Like,
okay.
They're just
trying
trying
to
it
eat the
out, I
fruit.
guess.
Yeah, I feel like that's at very least the implication. But yeah, I guess they are.
Just snacking.
But Ormy comes up and he's like, well, what if we showed LeBlanc a sphere with Nuge in it? Maybe that would make her feel better, right?
Yeah, like Payne's just
Right.
like, why are you asking us?
Yeah,
Just go fucking do it. She's your boss. She's your friend.
Yeah.
I like how they're just like they just need a powerful woman to tell them what to do, which is fucking awesome.
I know.
They're like, well, she's not telling us anything. Payne, you seem extremely powerful. Can you just tell us what to do?
You have the most
That's
heal
right.
out of like, yeah, they only know how to take the heal. So
Yeah, exactly.
obviously she's in the next chain of command of heal.
But yeah. So Logos is like, oh, that sphere. You're right. We should do that. We'll get that sphere. Join us in our room for a little screening.
Yeah.
And I do like that he says our room because I was like, do they share a room?
I'm pretty sure it's Logos' room.
It's Logos' room.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that they like share the room together. Like, it's very
Yeah,
cute.
I love Logos' voice when he's like kind of like happy.
Meet us in our room. We'll have a little screening.
Yeah, he's
do-
very excited about it.
I'm always a fucking sucker for when like the early game or like the early season of an anime has like an enemy that then they become like weird friends.
Yeah.
It always works on me. I love it.
Me too.
But if you like ask them like, hey, remember the room you snuck into downstairs? I'll meet you there.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think the boss would actually quit sphere hunting, do you? And the goon, yeah, is like you said, Carl. Well, the door's open.
Guess we can air it out. You know that fucking basement area smells dank as hell, so airing that out would be good as fuck.
Yeah, that's the goon cave. That's,
Yeah, it's extremely dank.
Yeah, so if you remember last time too that we were here after we'd gotten all the uniforms and everything and we snuck in, once we entered the final room,
with the Sphere Oscillofinder.
The Sphere Oscillofinder room, and we learned about Vegnagun being under Bavel. It immediately threw us into a fight and then a cutscene and then kicked us out into Bavel, and we were never able to look in that room. So if you go into that room now, you can climb up on some boxes and go around like the upper area.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, you can see on the map there's like
Yeah,
a little crescent of like a walkway.
Mm-hmm. And up there is Crimson Sphere 4. So important.
How
to
about
get.
that?
Why the fuck doesn't the 100% guide tell us to get that?
I think it does.
It does.
Did I just not read that? The only thing I read was, you're done with Guada Salam, return to the Celsius. I think we figured out why I haven't gotten all the percentage. I'm just skipping shit and getting mad at the guide.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like single lines in there where it's like, oh, by the way, do this, and then it moves on. So like,
head to the room west of the save sphere.
After a small seam, yeah, you'll receive Logos. Inspect the drawer by the bed. There's a sphere here. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah. Okay. You'll notice a hidden passage. Yep, did not do that at all. Did not. They have fucking pictures of it and all, dude. Fuck.
Anyway,
but yeah, so we go to Logos' room.
I think Logos' room.
Is it Logos? Yeah,
I'm guessing it is because the pistol's on the wall.
And he has the sphere, and he's like, here's the sphere. Okay, let's watch this sphere.
I love Rika just throws herself on the wall couch.
Yeah, she's just chilling under the TV.
Yeah. But he's like, all right, let's watch the sphere. Here it is. And he like pulls it up, and it's just like, it's Bavel footage while we were in Bavel earlier.
Yeah, we're doing the big like gear puzzle or something, that gear puzzle room.
Yeah.
And it's just like zooming in and panning around on Yuna's butt.
Yeah.
And she's like, what is this? And he goes, Ormy took this one. You know, Ormy. He's gross. That
Ormy
guy,
call him.
And then as the camera is like moving around, you see Ormy like walking around. And Payne goes,
really
so I see.
Yeah, I was panning over Payne, and then like as soon as is that this must be a dud, and then Rico says, "Who are you calling a dud?"
Yeah. But
we're back in the Faith, the room where we fought Bahamut. I guess.
Yeah, so he
right?
gets a different one. He goes, actually, this is the sphere. This is the one I wanted. And yeah, you're right. We're in the room where we fought Bahamut at.
So it's interesting they didn't mention that like they were in the same room as Nuge. Nuge was in that room with us.
Well, we didn't know that, I think, right? At the time.
But maybe like upon reviewing the footage, they've
we
noticed.
can kind of see him in the distance.
Yeah, because they do the little like enhance, like zoom in, right?
I'll zoom in, yeah.
And so we see Nuge was standing there either during or after the battle, off in the distance.
Gives me bad vibes.
Bad vibes. Don't like it. But specifically, Payne says, I don't like it.
All these secrets, it's just one thing after another.
And then, after reviewing it, I guess like they thought like, oh, this would be a good idea to show the boss. And then after watching it, Logos is like, hey, you do what you want, but maybe don't tell the boss about this one. Like, maybe it's not, maybe it wouldn't make her happy. And Riku's like, oh, why not? And Logos goes, whatever this Vegnagun thing is, it's clearly dangerous. Nothing the likes of we sphere hunters have any business fooling around with. But if the boss knew Nuge was involved, there'd be no stopping her. And if anything were to happen to her, ... And Riku says, oh, you got it rough, don't you? And she goes, Logos goes, if only she noticed.
Yeah. Aww. Pretty cute. I like that. I like the characterization of these goofballs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But there's another sphere in here too, right? That we can interact with. And Yuna says, oh, is this one from Bavel too? And Riku says, oh, you've been taking naughty pictures again? And Logos goes, I didn't shoot this one. We just found it. And we start watching it. And it is a sphere of the unknown Tidus guy.
Yeah, question mark.
Yeah, okay, the classic. I love that.
That's Tidus fella.
But yeah,
or as
Logos
they call him in
says
this game, you know who, because the name is not canon.
That's right. Logos says the image is badly deteriorated. It must be old. And then we hear somebody talking that we don't recognize in the sphere.
The only reason the war's dragging on is because Xanakan refuses to surrender.
You're wrong! If you'd stop attacking, there wouldn't be a war.
We're not falling for that.
That's the oldest trick in the war handbook.
Mm-hmm. And Tidus says, I'm saying Tidus, but we don't, I'm just using that name. Someday, your precious weapons will end up destroying you. And then we hear a voice from the room that we're in, and it's fucking Machen who's got in here somehow. And he's like,
that'll make bigger boards with bigger nails.
Yeah, he's probably referring to the machina war of 1,000 years past. And then we pull out of the video, and yes, sure enough, he's sitting there, and we get the jail sphere.
Yeah. Spelled G-A-O-L, which took me a very long time to realize it's pronounced jail.
Because it's the jail.
Yes. I was calling it a gowl.
You're right.
When I was playing Elden Ring, I'm like the ever gowl.
In response to Logos asking, when did you sneak in, old man, he says, you can expect me to remember everything that happened.
That fucking rocks, dude. Oh, I've been here longer than I care to remember.
Who's old Jasper? Not Jasper, but the other old guy from The Simpsons who just like shows up places.
Hans Moleman?
Yeah.
Kind
of Hans.
Yeah. You wasted 15 minutes of my life and I want them back.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have just wasted them anyway.
But Yuna asks Machen, she's like, that can't really be him, can it? And Machen's like, yeah, there's no way. That video has to be 1,000 years old. Like there's no way that's him.
It's like, yeah, right.
He's like, I would like to get to the bottom of this. I would like to ask him.
Right. We can we can actually ask him to, explain more.
Yeah, so we can ask him to explain more, and he goes on one of his legendary rants, and I said, I'm not going to sit here and take a screenshot of every single piece of dialogue during one of his rants. Instead, I'm going to put the Switch down and practice guitar. And then when we do the podcast, one of the other two will have either taken screenshots or have the script up and they can read it or give me
that was me with Sphere Break. I'm like, well, the other two guys will
someone else
figure it
out. Be on Sphere Break duty.
Lady Yuna, a rumor has been going around of late. Perhaps you've heard it. They say that High Summoner Yuna was accompanied by a guardian from, of all places, Xanakant.
Referring to Tidus, of course. So people are catching on because he's, probably keeps saying it. He's from the Xanakanabes.
Yeah, it says,
Right.
oh yes, the young man raised quite a few eyebrows at the Blitzball tournament in Lucca. I spoke to him myself on a number of occasions. I could sense that he belonged to an other world. And Other World was the name of one of the songs in 10, wasn't it? Yeah. So him saying, he doesn't say another world, he says an other world, which I thought was a nice little nod to that.
Okay.
An other world. That he should look so much like the man that sphere cannot be mere coincidence, I should think. And he was like, there's a connection. And Machen's like, oh yeah, I'd very much like to ask him. I'll clear this up all once and for all. And he's like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah, just like the Faith said, our dream will vanish. And he says, a dream of the Faith, is that right? And he's kind of thinking and he's pondering to himself. And he says,
comes to
my.
some sort of epiphany.
He's like fucking Farnsworth. Oh my, yes. And Riku's like, oh, what is it? And then he kind of just like gets, what was that word that fucking Ormy used? He gets dejected. He gets dismal or whatever.
Yeah, he gets lugubrious.
Yeah, lugubrious. And he says, I had something on the tip of my tongue, but then it slipped away. Something very important. Frustrating. Well, I suppose I'll just have to think on it a little more. Until next time, Lady Yuna.
If you can't remember, it was probably not important.
Yeah, exactly. And he just kind of looks at her and he says, we are all connected. There may yet be a way to reunite with those who have gone. And Yuna's like, gets really understandably excited. And she says, what? And Payne's just like, yo, watch what you say, asshole. Like, don't just start doling out some fucking hope. But he says,
some ways like asking strangers to marry this dude.
Yeah. He says,
obviously that's what he was thinking of.
Yeah. He says,
he was
forgive
like,
me.
if you're able to get 100% on your quest.
But you may have already locked yourself out of it if you didn't listen to me last time.
Have you been remembering to sleep in the cabin every chapter?
Did you mash through my dialogue last time? Oh, shouldn't have done that, motherfucker. It says, forgive me, consider it the ramblings of an old man. And then he just pimps on out of there.
Later, Mei-chan.
That is kind of like, I do like that scene though, because like, well, I don't know. I feel like to some extent, Final Fantasy X-2 is a very like chill, easy, good time or whatever for the most part.
Yeah.
Especially if you only do like the main story beats or whatever. But I do like the idea that like Mei-chan just blabbing like, oh, we might be able to, reunite with the dead. And then Yuna being like, what do you mean? And then Pain being like, no. This is a bad, dark place to go down. And I like that.
When you talk to Pain on the Celsius, she says, I don't like building up false hope, but I guess that's just me. And when you talk to Riku, she says, yeah, it looks like you know who, but it isn't him. And then she says, whoa, and then 2 like asterisks, and it says blink. So she's like, whoa, and then like blinks.
Far out.
Yeah. Whoa. And then we can watch the sphere that we got, Crimson Sphere 4.
The super secret Crimson 4
Right,
sphere.
I didn't get that, so I don't have any screenshots. I did just get it as we were talking about it, because I was like, hopefully I can get back in there, and luckily it's still there. There was also some sort of accessory that was in a chest that was there, but that doesn't matter.
Tetraband.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I can play Tetramaster.
Well, may I do a movie review and describe the film to you, Carl?
Yes.
That we got. So this is Crimson Sphere 4, and the first voice that we hear on it is Maester Keenock, if you remember Bobby Hill from
hell yeah.
Final Fantasy X. And he
starts
saying,
out with him cocking a shotgun.
It's funny you should say that, because he is standing in a room full of people with like well, not full of, but there are weapons around. But he says, this is the final exercise. So the video comes up and we see that he's standing in a group of people. Some of those people being Nuge, Gipple, and Barrel-Eye, right? He
Gang's
says,
all here.
I'm guessing this is Crimson Squad, right? Is what if they follow the pattern of the other Crimson
I believe this is
Spheres
the Sinister Six.
Yeah. So we see a lot of people who look like they're from like Youth League, but this may be like pre-Youth League. So
yeah, but I mean, Keenock's still alive, so
Keenock's still alive. Gipple's there. It's funny that everyone came out.
And we heard that like Nuge was injured in the Crusaders, and that's why he wasn't able to continue.
So this is before his injury?
I think this is his injury. If you remember, like from the other Crimson Spheres we've seen, like everybody ends up being killed and stuff like that. But Keenock goes on to say, we've reports of something extremely dangerous inside of this cave, but we lack more detailed information.
I am noticing that Gipple has his eye patch still, so that was not from this event.
Mm-hmm.
And Nuge still looks like he has all his... I don't know if they gave him his cane, but he still has like the prosthetics shit.
Oh, okay, maybe, yeah.
It's just they did not want to make a specific model for this.
Yeah. Barrel-Eye says, so we're to eliminate it? And Keenock says, no, you're simply to investigate it. Report your findings back to me. Those who return here alive will become formal members of the Crimson Squad. There aren't enough weapons for all of you. Claiming a weapon for yourself will be part of the exercise. This is it, gentlemen. You have your orders. Begin.
Seems like it would be pretty easy to give them weapons to go into this mission first. But
yeah.
I guess that's part of the recruitment for the Crimson Squad.
But then we get like various scenes with like no dialogue, but it shows like a dark area. I guess they're inside that cave. We see fireflies floating around, and people start going like crazy and shooting each other, right?
Yeah.
It feels like found footage type of thing from like, I don't know, like Aliens,
right.
where we're just hearing people like, oh, they're in the walls and shit, but nothing that specific. You just hear people screaming, gunshots going off.
Right. So I think like the
shit.
additional Crimson Squad information we get here is that like, the 3 leaders or whatever, the Barrel Eye, Nuge, and Gipple were in fact part of the Crimson Squad. Keenock was in charge of it, right?
So it's a good organization.
Yeah. And we see that like the thing killing everyone is the other people in the group. So So I think that's, or at least I think that's
so.
implied.
Whatever's in here can cast confuse and cause them to attack their own teammates.
Yeah, so guys, Lady Luck. Oh no, it's casting dud over and over.
You got the dud.
And then the next screenshot I have after Crimson Report 4 is just Owaka with Owaka's debt 0 gil.
Yo, hell yeah! This is how
now
he
I
wins.
can finally go back to me shop. And then, like, the next time you go to select an area, it does that deep salmon colored alarm.
Yes.
And it says, Owaka overboard. Owaka has paid off his debts and jumped ship. He's headed for the travel agency in Makalania, of course.
What a king.
And then we probably have time to do Thunder Plains, right?
Yeah,
there's not much to it.
There.
Not much to it, with the exception of now that we've done Clasco's thing in Chapter 2, I did catch a chocobo here, so I'm
nice.
happy
I
about
caught
that.
a couple chocobos here as well, just to get them out of my fucking hair, because every now and then you'll just run into a single chocobo.
Yeah.
So I just threw some greens at it, but also I had to fight a couple chocobos here. Like, they were in with other enemies that I was trying to farm AP from.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't attack a chocobo. That would make me sad. So I don't want to chase it away. It uses like Choco Meteor or something, like Meteor. And it just fires a bunch of fucking meteors down on you, and it does a bunch of chains. I think it's all gravity damage, so it's not like it's not like very like powerful, but it's like it drains your fucking HP pretty quick. And then like if there's other things there, they can fucking kill you.
I remember in FF7 they used Choco Meteor.
Yeah, it's a cool move. I don't like being on the receiving end of it.
Yeah.
But they also use Chocobo Kick, which is another classic Final Fantasy thing.
Chocobo Dooskies.
That's right.
But I also, when trying to get deep into the Thunder Plains here, I put on the charm bangle, I think, that we got in a previous chapter. That is no encounters. So
nice.
that's really helpful for homework.
Yeah, good point. I didn't even equip that. I should do that.
Yeah.
You can turn them off in Steam.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, I would fucking play it on Steam if it worked on my goddamn Steam Deck. Fix your game, Nomura. Make it viable on Steam Deck.
He's a little busy right now.
With what? He's rendering more belts.
I don't think it was part of the 100% guide, but Sid is here. If you want to check it out again.
He is, yeah. This is the other instance of...
he's on the other side, he's just on the left side instead of the right side of the Thunder Plains.
Yeah, this is another instance of the inconsistent shit with the mini-map, where there was just a pink X, and I was like, this must be who I'm looking for to talk to here, per the guide. And then I went up to him and I was like, no, it's just Sid, and he's still moping. And
Riku's like, are you still bummed out about that, Pops? Like, who asked you? And we start walking away, and then Sid eventually just says, I'm sorry, can you forgive me?
Yeah.
And that's it.
A little bit of character growth. And you can talk to him again, he just says, I'm sorry.
He's just moping he's being sad Vegeta in the rain.
Yes.
Yeah, but the only thing we really have to do here is talk to Leon and Aid, the two Ronso children.
They're up in that northern gazebo looking thing.
It's when we head up there, we see them. Riku says like, oh, you should watch out with horns like yours. You're liable to get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Good bit. But Leon and Aid left mountain to find... Actually, Aid doesn't really say anything, right?
Aid doesn't say anything, yeah.
He just goes, like every time.
Leon and Aid left mountain to find a way to repair Elder Kimari's horn. We cannot return to mountain until a way is found.
And you expect to find that here?
Yes. Where does Lady Yuna think we should search for way to fix Elder's horn?
So, yeah, He asks Yuna, where do you think I should go to find a way to fix Kimahri's horn? And once again, if you want to get 100%, you'll say Kilika Island, which there's no fucking reason to think that that's the right one, but
yeah.
Okay.
And they kind of underline that a little bit by Riku saying, what's in Kilika? And Yuna says, well, just a hunch.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that to be a thing. It's just like, oh yeah, just know the answer. And then
Just
you
know
get
the
the good
answer. It's easy.
Yeah, just know. Just follow the guide and make sure you read every line instead of skipping around like a maniac.
Yeah, would Donna know something? I don't know.
Yeah,
you know how
maybe.
Donna knows about
She's a horn dog.
ivory?
She is a horn dog.
Do you think their horns are made of ivory? Do you think piano keys are made out of
Oh no.
bronze?
Kimahri pianos.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes the one quest in, what is it, Final Fantasy V much darker, where you play the piano in every city.
They're very good at fixing things, I guess, in Kilika, because they fucking rebuilt the whole town.
They
Like,
sure did.
They sure did.
if anyone knows about fixing.
Yeah, in a year. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so that's
But it's just funny, like, I have a hunch. I don't know.
yeah. So they walk off to go find
If you
it.
didn't say that, you could, like, she might say the Albed might know something if you pick Jose Temple.
It's
like, and Riku's like, I don't know. Or you can say the Moonflow. Toby might know something.
Yeah, send him to Tobly. He knows he knows his way around.
And it's like, I wonder.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it's funny that, like, yeah, option 3, what's in Kilika, just a hunch. And then they take off.
And that, I think, is where we're going to leave it today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. If you're on the airship, Riku says, you shouldn't make stuff up just because they're kids.
Yeah, I continued forward a little bit past the Thunder Plains and ended up in Macalania Woods, and Buddy's just like right there at the start, and you talk to him and he says, I get the feeling this neighborhood doesn't need any gull wings. And then when you talk to him again, he says, what? Ready to go, gull wings? And then you just go to the save sphere and go back to the Celsius.
Yeah, the guide says do not progress till you've done the Waka thing, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So
yes.
Next episode, dear listeners.
Pay off his debt. That'll be the between the episodes thing. Curtis Hardy.
You know, it's tax day today.
It is. And
It
I
is,
got
indeed.
in just
Pay
under
your
the
Waka
buzzer.
tax. Write off all those Waka donations on your
Yeah, exactly.
on your taxes.
I invested in small business. 100,000 gil into small business. I'm creating jobs for one guy in particular.
I'm looking at what's coming up. I think we might be able to get to Xanarkand next time, somewhere around there. If you're following the 100% Steam guide with us, I would say, like, if you get to around that point, that's probably about where we'll get to.
When you
maybe
say
one more,
Xanarkand,
one less.
Oh, okay. So Xanarkand in this chapter, because I'm also seeing
That's
in
right.
the guide it says like chapter 5 Xanarkand. I'm like, damn, gonna blow through all.
Yeah,
this.
we're going to beat the rest of the game. We're just going to roll through
Yeah,
it.
we
I'm going
just
to do a
hit
very Final Fantasy
50%.
Rebirth thing and just no more side quests going on to
Yeah. We just hit 50%. That's probably good enough, right?
Oh, did we?
Yeah. At the end of this, we should be at 50%. And
Oh,
if you're
wow.
not, I am with you. I am at 48 somehow.
Very good.
I've given up.
I also have given up. I'm like, it makes it less fun to like want to sit. Like, I love playing this game. It's super fun. But I'm just like, anytime I'm like, fuck, I missed something. Like, it takes the wind out of my sails a little bit. And I'm like, actually, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have fun with it.
That's entirely fair.
I'm just in it for the story, and if it's a story thing we're fighting for or playing 100% for, we can
There's always YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Sorry we've been away for a bit. You know,
Touch and go. Life,
touch and
you
go.
know?
Life happens, and everything is always hard in our 30s.
Oh, yeah.
Getting things to line up.
Alex, would you like to place the number 1 as our target sphere?
Yeah.
Alex, would you like to take $10,000 from us and jump overboard?
I'd love to. Thank you all for listening again. Thank you to Riko Matsuda and Takahiko Iguchi for the game music. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. You can find us at every FNFF on Twitter /X/Instagram/YouTube and hop in our Discord. And well, the podcast's over. Maybe I'll just let the place air out.
All right, see y'all later.
See ya.